Trying to stay above the shoreline. Oh, sorry. I gotta like pull myself all the way together after that one. I am purposely sitting back from this beautiful view. This beautiful. I have sand all over my face, which is gonna be important in a moment. I thought about going to get my tripod. I thought about going to get my tripod so I could set up properly and um, like have a little bit more structure, make it look good. But then I was like, yo, God's already here in this moment. Do you really think that He cares if your tripod is in this moment? No, He doesn't. So that's a word right there. Okay, so I want to share a little bit of testimony. We are in Montego Bay at the Ryu Reggae here in Jamaica. And we have literally been talking about this trip since January. Last January, we were supposed to go to Jamaica for my husband's birthday, and because of like COVID and some situations, we ended up not being able to travel to Jamaica, and instead we went to Mexico for his birthday, which was not as fun. Which no shade, it was a much needed trip, and everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. But, and however, it was not what we wanted at the time. It was not what we expected at the time because we only found out last minute that we wouldn't be going. So we spent our entire trip in Mexico planning how we were going to come to Jamaica for our friend's birthday, which is in November. So since January, we've been talking about this trip. And it's just so surreal to be here right now because it's like, it's like when the blessing's already there. It's like before you even prayed the prayer, God was already answering it. He was already putting things in place to lead you to where those blessings would be. And you didn't even know it. And all you had to do was be obedient and be led by the Spirit. Not just obedient, because obedient is such like a phrase that people throw around. Oh, be obedient, be obedient. Yes, be obedient. But be led by the Spirit. A good man and woman's steps are ordered, right? So be led by the Spirit. Let your steps be ordered. So anyway, we spent the entire trip in Mexico planning Jamaica. We got to Jamaica and we really wanted to capitalize. Shout out to my husband who be planning the things like down to the T. So we actually got to Jamaica at 8 a.m. yesterday. 8 a.m. yesterday. And um, we flew into Kingston, even though we were staying in Montego Bay, because we wanted to take like the scenic route and kind of drive through Fern Gully and go past like this place that he's been talking to me about for years, where there's like all these thriving restaurants and like it's just like the place to go get all the jerk, and it's supposed to be like a festival. Anyway, we wanted to travel through there and stop in, I think it's in Ocho Rios, I'm not really sure because I slept in the car. That was my little nap. And we went to Dunn's River Fall. And so after pretty much not sleeping at all in the last like 72 hours, just from like preparing my house to be going without parents for an entire week, like making sure that my children had their clothes, make sure that they had food in the house, making sure that they had everything that they needed. That was like my preparation while still going to work, while still being in like 40 days of prayer. So trying to make sure that I am in my Bible, in my prayer sessions, like still pouring into people, still just doing everything, right? So I really hadn't slept. And when we got to Jamaica, the first thing that we did was go to Dunn's River Fall and climb the waterfalls. And yo, what an experience that was! Because the last time we climbed the Dunn's River Fall, we had a guide. We had a guide bring us up, and they would tell you step right here, step right there. These rocks are slippery. I don't know if anybody's ever been up Dunn's River Fall, but that was. Oh, sorry, I might slightly distracted by a parade that just came through. But the last couple of times that we went up the falls, we had guides. So this time, my husband was like, "Nah, we got this. Let's just go by ourselves." And I'm like, "Okay, let's go by ourselves." So we climbed the falls, and yes, I did. Thank you so much. Powerful. Thank you. The instructor of the yoga class I just took on the beach. Hi, I'm recording a video right now. Yes, for my YouTube channel, but I'm gonna talk to you when I'm done. Okay? I met, yo, there's so much testimony in this right now. All right, so this is how on fire I am for God right now. I'm like, let's go party with the Lord. Don't judge me. Okay, so anyway, so we climb up these falls, and I gotta tell you, there was just so much in it that I remember praying when I was like climbing, and I'm like, okay, Father, like, I'm not by myself, I'm with you. You tell me where to step. You show me where to go. You tell me when the rocks are too slippery, and when the rocks are too slippery, you catch me. I'm like, Father, please don't let me break a nail while I'm like slipping on things, and Father, please don't let me hurt my ankle or hurt my body as I'm climbing. And it was beautiful. Like, we were able to just climb the mountain, and even when it got hard, like climbing up the waterfalls, like there was times where it actually was like really difficult, and I was like, yo, how are we gonna get across this? Like, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, you know what, Father, you're gonna guide me. And I would climb it, and yo, it was so much easier than I thought it was. It was just like, not effortless, but just like seamless. It was just, it was exactly what it was supposed to be. And so I'm like, okay, yo, there's so much testimony here. I gotta bear with me. Please bear with me. And don't mind like me spit. There's water. Please bear with me. Because this is so good. Okay, so we climb the falls, we get to the top, and it's just like one of those, like, your body feels better. Like, you feel just relaxed, and you just feel like, you know, that was a good way to wake yourself up. It was beautiful. The scenery was beautiful. You accomplished it. And I thought back to this time where very early in my relationship with my husband, back when we were dating, we tried to go zip lining in this like I don't know, like this this forest obstacle course, and we climbed, and we got like partially all the way up there, but I couldn't make it to the top. Like I got to a point, and I was just like, nope, I can't go any higher. That's it for me. And I turned around and I went back down. And when we were about to climb the falls yesterday, I saw this lady on the side of the thing, and she was like panting, and she was holding on, and she was like, I made it halfway up and I had to come back down. And I was like, oh, Father, please don't let that be me. Please don't let me be the person that, because I don't have a guide here pushing me and telling me where to stop, that I won't make it to the top. And then I remember I have a guide. The Holy Spirit is my guide. God is my guide. He's with me everywhere I go. I just have to invite him in, and that's like the purpose of all of this. We need to invite God into every single area of our lives. All right, so we get to the resort. We're chilling. This guy comes over, and he's like, oh, my name is Biggs, and I do yoga on the beach at 10:30 in the morning. And I'm like, oh, like, yeah, say less, we're gonna do it because we just climbed this mountain today, and my body is sore, so yeah, come stretch me out. And so as he was talking, he was saying like, oh, it's not really yoga, it's really like ghetto stretching on the beach. And I was like, I could get down with some ghetto stretching on the beach. So We're like 10:30, 10:30, say less. Okay, so later that day, I'm sitting there and at dinner, and I meet this lady. She was sitting by herself, and I kept feeling my spirit like, oh, speak to her, say something to her, say hello. And I was just like, I don't really talk to strangers. And like something in my spirit decided to speak to her, talk to her. So we started talking, started chatting. I'll get more into that later. It's not really very relevant to the story, except for the fact that I told her I was going to be going to yoga on the beach and invited her to meet me there. We would chat. So anyway, this morning everybody else flaked on me. They didn't want to go anymore. They was like, nah, we like it's late for that. We just came from breakfast, and I was like, you know what? I'm still going. I told her I was gonna be there. If she shows up, I don't want her to be there, and I'm not there. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go by myself. Mind you, she was at dinner by herself, which was inspiring to me, because it's like, yo, you're just by yourself and you're just doing your thing. You're not worried about anybody. Like that's how it has to be sometimes. You gotta go on your journey by yourself and do your thing by yourself. So anyway, I go this morning to yoga, and when I tell you, it was so perfect. It was the most perfect analogy. So one, we're out here in the sun, and the breeze is popping, and the waves are playing, and they got the slow reggae popping in the background. But it was just a good metaphor. So there's about maybe 20 of us in the class, and the instructor is going around, and he's trying to like tell people, you know, how to fix their form. So the first thing is it's uncomfortable. So sometimes the things that God calls you to do are going to be uncomfortable. So it's uncomfortable. And there's about 20 other people in the room. So as he's making his way around the room and correcting other people and putting them in the right position, you're still sitting there not sure if you're in the right position, not sure if you're doing the right thing, but just kind of holding on, doing your best. But it feels uncomfortable and it feels like you're in pain, and you kind of just want to let go and stop doing the thing. But it's like, no, he's obviously he's obviously making his way around, right? Like he's obviously moving around the room. So if he's already in the room, then why would you like walk away or drop out or stop doing the thing that he already told you to do, even if you think you're doing it wrong? So that to me is like I'm in the room right now with some people who are reaching their blessings, with some people who are like creating amazing things in the world. Like I'm in such an amazing space with all these faith-based women and Christian entrepreneurs and just people who have like amazing story to tell that maybe aren't even like faith-based or even at that part of their journey yet, but have so many blessings that they've been delivered from things that they don't even know how to give God the glory for it yet. Like I'm in such an amazing space and place and opportunity of people that I know that I'm like, yo, this is why would I pull back now? So all right. So I stayed in position and he goes around and like I'm kinda hearing him like give other people instructions. So we're all supposed to be doing the same thing. So I'm kind of hearing him all like giving instructions like, oh, move your leg back a little further, pull it out this way. And so I'm like listening and trying to adjust myself based off of what I'm hearing him say to other people, right? But I'm still kind of like looking at myself and keeping my eyes closed and like kind of focused on what I feel and not necessarily what I see. And so then I was like, okay. He makes his way around to me. He corrects my form. I'm like, all right, cool. Next time around, the next thing that we're doing, same atmosphere. I'm like, okay, this one's a little tighter, but I know that he's coming around, so be patient. But as he's adjusting other people, I take a look and I see what he's adjusting with people, and so I start to adjust myself appropriately. So um, he comes and he shows me again like another thing, but like this time it was like a little bit less instruction, just like a little term right here. Okay, cool. So the next time around, I'm like really like listening intently, watching, seeing what other people are doing, and like, okay, seeing the correction that he's giving. And so when he comes to me, he like taps my foot and he's like, perfect. And I was like, yo, ain't that how it is when we're doing what God has called us to do sometimes? Like you hear the instruction, but you don't necessarily see the instruction. You see what other people are doing, and you know, like we're all supposed to be doing one thing. So that, like, I don't want this to think like, oh, do what everybody else is doing. No, but there is one thing that we're all supposed to be doing, which is keeping our eyes fixed on the Lord. That's We should all be doing that. We should all be letting the Spirit lead our lives, because a Spirit-led life is the life to lead. So okay, it's a life that'll lead you to peace. That's it's a perfect peace. My peace I give you. That's what he says. So living a Spirit-led life will bring you peace. That's the purpose. Okay. I'm gonna speed this along just a little bit. Just knowing that it's such a correlation of the things that he's teaching me right now and everything that he's showing me. I started praying my way through the pain, because even after he corrected me, we still had to stay in that position for a while, and sometimes it hurt. But what he said to me yesterday was that at the end of ghetto stretching on the beach with Biggs, your back is gonna feel on point. And so I knew that that was the reward. I knew that that was the blessing. So I said, okay, if I don't do it right, if I don't hold the stance, then I'm not going to get the things that he said that I was here to get. So yeah, let me do the stance. Let me do the thing. I just tell you this, right? I truly just tell you this because it was such an amazing feeling. Um, Being able to get through it and pray through it, and it just reminded me that everything, I'm inviting God into my rest. Father, help me rest. I'm inviting him into my relaxation. I'm inviting him into my ideas. I'm inviting him into my fitness. I'm inviting him into my health. Every aspect, if I'm doing it with him, I'm gonna win. Period. You're gonna win. If you're doing it with him, you're gonna win, because he can do everything but fail. That's a simple fact. Okay. The prayers are already answered. The gifts are already wrapped and ready to be given. The love is already flowing. His anointing is already waiting. He's there. He never sleeps nor slumbers. He's there. He's literally just waiting for you to invite him in and let him lead you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be able to see the things that we pray for come to pass. Oh, that's it. The sand in my face. I said that was important. Yo, as I'm doing this, the sand is all getting in my face. Like some of the positions that we had to go into, the sand was getting into my face. And so I remember praying, like, okay, Father, like the sand could be anywhere but in my eyes. And that's like a metaphor for life too. Like, just don't block the vision. Don't block the vision of what you're calling me to do and calling me to see. You could get sand on my face. You could get sand in my nostrils and make it hurt. You could get sand in my mouth and make it taste so bitter, the things that I'm being called to do. But just please, Father, don't get any sand in my eyes, because I want my vision to be clear. When the guy was going around checking us, I was like, oh, what if I like fall out of position and then just get back into position when I know he's getting closer? And it's like, no, don't do that. Why are you cheating? Why are you cheating yourself? Why are you cheating the process of what you're being called to do? I gave you an instruction already. I didn't say do it when I get closer to you, and it's the same thing. God gave us an instruction already. He didn't say do it at a specific time. Do it now. Do it as I'm giving you the instruction, and wait for me to get over to what you're doing. And so I said, okay, just let me be in position when God comes. I want to be in the ready position. I want to be where He is. Kirk is calling me. Anyway, I want to be in position when He says it's time to go. So anyway, Spirit-led life. I'm having fun. I will record more. Thanks for listening.